Namaste and welcome to Yogami. I'm Malika, your trainer for today. Let's join the palms together right in front of the heart center and opening the chest here, keeping the neck, spine and the head in a straight line. Activating the outer edges of the legs and tucking in the tailbone. Centering yourself here in standing prayer pose or Sthit Pratnasana. Gently releasing. And now let's begin with our warm-up. So let's begin with our warm-up. Taking about 4 feet distance between the feet and pointing the toes inwards, starting to rotate the hips. 7 to 8 times on each side. And really again working with your range of movement. Observing the stretch on the inner legs because of your toes pointing inwards. Seven to 8 times clockwise and 7 to 8 times anti-clockwise. Taking the feet together and placing the hands on the knees, rotating, making big circles and continuing with the same movement on the other side. Making sure your hands are not putting any pressure on the knees. And from here, taking one leg up to a 90-degree angle, keeping the thigh parallel to the ground, holding it there for a few seconds, and starting to rotate the ankle a few times on each side, keeping the movement isolated. Opening the leg outwards and holding it there. Coming back to the center, hugging it up, keeping your chest open and looking straight at a point in front of you, eye level. And from here, if you can, straighten the leg with the toes pointing inwards and drop the chest towards the knees as you do that. Gently bringing the legs to a 10-degree angle and inhaling, point. Exhaling, flex the toes towards you. Inhaling, point the toes downwards and exhaling, flex. Continuing that movement 4 to 5 times. And if you feel unstable staying on one leg for so long, feel free to use a support. And repeating the same on the other leg. So taking the left leg up, thigh parallel to the ground, holding it there at a 90-degree angle and starting to rotate the ankles here. Other side, big circles. Feel free to use a support, or if you can, stay balanced. Keep your eyes at a point as you open the leg outwards, feeling that nice hip opening. And hugging the knee into the chest, keeping the chest open. And from here, gently straightening the leg with the toes pointing inwards and bringing the chest a little bit in towards the thigh. Inhaling, pointing the toes down, exhaling, flexing upwards. Inhale, point, exhale, flex, feeling that nice stretch on the hamstrings and the quads here. Staying mindful of the sensations in the body. That completes our warm-up.
Next we'll be practicing the revolved triangle or parivri trikonasana. People with a neck or hamstring injury should avoid this posture. People with sacroiliac issues or pregnant women should also avoid this posture. We're going to start by taking about 4.5 to 5 feet distance between our feet. The pelvis straight, taking the left toes out and the arms on either side, shoulder level. Exhaling, I take the right hand to the left ankle and look up at the left hand. Keeping the chest open and looking into the left palm, holding that posture for a few moments and inhaling, looking at your right palm coming back to the center, taking the left toes in and the right toes out. With the arms on either side shoulder level, we take the left hand all the way to the right ankle, twisting and looking up at the right palm. Staying there for a few moments, deepening the stretch by bending the left elbow and really opening the right shoulder. Inhaling, we look at the left hand and we come back up to the center. Now, the benefits of this posture are that it helps to tone the legs, releases the thoracic spine, invigorates the abdominal organs, and helps to stimulate digestion. Next, we'll be practicing triangle pose or trikonasana. The contraindications for this posture are that if you have a migraine, diarrhea, high or low blood pressure, or a neck or back injury, you must avoid this posture. We're going to start by measuring about 4 to 4.5 feet distance between our feet. And we're going to take the left toes out, keeping the pelvis pointing forward. Inhale, we take the arms out on either side. Exhale, we drop down, keeping the left hand as low on the leg as we can and the right arm upwards. We want to open our right shoulder and keep our chest open right here. Taking long deep breaths as we look up at our right palm. Important to keep the chest open, feeling that beautiful stretch on the inner leg. Bringing the left toes in as we release. We take the right toes out, keeping the pelvis pointed forward. Inhale, arms to either side. Exhale, bending the spine laterally to drop all the way to the right side while we look up at our left hand. We want to try to keep both the arms in a straight line and keep the chest open here. Now, the benefits of Trikonasana are that it helps to strengthen the legs, knees, ankles, arms and chest. As we noticed, it stretches and opens the hips, groins, hamstrings, calves, shoulders, chest and the spine. Also helps to increase mental and physical equilibrium, helps to improve digestion, and also reduces anxiety, stress, back pain, and sciatica. Inhale, we come back to the center, taking the right toes in and releasing the asana. Next, we're going to practice janu sirasina or the head to knee posture. People with a slip disc or any sort of severe back injuries must avoid this posture. Pregnant and menstruating women should also not practice this asana. People with abdominal pain and cramps should also avoid this asana. We're going to start by sitting in dandasana, keeping the toes pointing towards us and the hands on either side of the hips. Keeping the body in a straight line, I take the right leg in, a little bit under my thigh. Inhaling, I lift my arms up and I drop down, keeping the length of my spine. Ideally bringing the hands all the way down with the elbows slightly bent. For beginners, you can keep your hands wherever they reach on the leg and hold the leg from below. What's important here to remember is that we want to keep the spine long and not curve the back completely. Exhaling, we lift up, arms and head together and release. Taking the left leg in this time, lifting from the hips, sit bones firm on the ground. Inhale, I take my arms up. Exhale, I bring the chest into the thighs to a nice deep forward bend, getting the shoulders in and placing the forehead somewhere around the shin. The benefits of Janu Sirasana are that it calms the mind. It also relaxes the central nervous system. This asana is a great stretch for the hamstrings and the muscles of the glute. It is also a fatigue relieving posture, so in case you've had a heavy leg day at gym and need something to stretch out your hamstrings, this is a great asana for you. Inhaling, arms and head together, coming back and releasing the asana. Let's go to the next asana. Next, we will practice Parivrit Janu Sirasana. People with hip problems and gastrointestinal problems should avoid this asana. Anyone with injuries around the knee, hip, lower back or rib should also avoid this posture. People suffering from diarrhea and asthma should not practice this posture as well. I'm going to start by lengthening the left leg all the way to the side. We want to keep it absolutely straight with our shoulders open. Inhale, I'm going to take my left arm down to the bottom of the left leg. Bend the left elbow. Inhale, I lift my right arm up, keeping my chest open and allow the right fingertips to point towards the wall to my left. I keep my toes pointing inwards and relax here, feeling a deep stretch in the inner leg and feeling the hip open up. Exhaling, I release, taking the left leg in and lengthening the right leg all the way out. Toes point inwards. Inhaling, I take my left hand, keeping it to the side, right hand holding the big toe and dropping the left arm, fingertips reaching towards the wall to your right. What's important is that our chest must stay open through this asana. It's a deep stretch for the shoulders, the spine and your hamstrings, so it's a great asana to release any hamstring tightness or tension. It also stimulates the liver, kidney and other abdominal organs. Exhaling, I release this posture and come back to Sukhasana. People with heart ailments, hypertension, high BP, fever, vertigo, pregnancy, abdominal disorders, spinal abnormalities, and eye ailments should not practice this pranayam. We're going to start by sitting in Sukhasana, keeping the neck, spine, and the head in a straight line. Inhale, forcefully expanding the belly. Exhale, forcefully through the nose. So we're going to take a deep breath and forcefully release it through the nose without any strain. Keep repeating that movement. Inhale. We want to breathe in and out with the same force, inhaling and exhaling repeatedly and fully using the diaphragmatic muscles with vigor. The above movements should be slightly exaggerated. A strong nasal sound will accompany the breathing, and continue to breathe like this for about 10 breaths. Feeling the breath in and out and feeling slightly lightheaded because the body takes in a lot of oxygen. This pranayam has a favorable effect on the respiratory and the digestive system. It drains out excess phlegm from the lungs. It also oxygenates the blood, increasing the vitality of all the organs and tissues. It calms the mind, and it also strengthens and tones the abdominal region. Next, we'll be practicing the corpse pose or shavasana, also known as the dead body posture. We're going to start by lying down on the back with the legs wider than hip distance apart and the arms on either side, palms facing upwards. Keeping the eyes shut and starting to feel the weight of the body on the ground, really surrendering to the force of gravity. Scanning the entire body for any tension or tightness and releasing it into the mat, softening the facial features as we begin to consciously relax each part of the body, from the tips of the toes all the way to the crown of the head. Feeling a state of deep relaxation in the entire body and resting here in Shavasana for a few more moments, maintaining your stillness. Gently starting to make yourself aware of the room you're in, making slight movements of the fingertips and the toes, hearing any sounds in your environment, and feeling the weight of your body on the mat, and allowing that gentle movement of the fingertips and the toes to bring you back to the present moment. Gently turning to your left side, supporting the head with the arm and keeping the body in a straight line, resting here on your side, maintaining a present state of mind, not worrying about the past and not thinking about the future. Taking the support of your hands and coming back into a seated posture with your eyes shut. Holding Sukhasana. keeping the spine straight and taking the hands in Namaste as we begin to chant Om 3 times. To end our practice, take a deep breath in. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Rubbing the palms together and touching the hands to the back of the neck, the head, cupping the eyes, blinking and gently releasing as you open your eyes, feeling absolutely relaxed and renewed. Thank you for practicing with me, and see you again for our next session on Yogami.